Hi everyone, I'm Angela. Welcome and welcome back to Angela's Fashion Mix. Happy Sunday to you. I hope you've had a fantastic day and looking forward to the coming week. I thank you for being here, and if you are new, welcome to the channel. Today I'm sharing fragrances from the brand Dossier, and I'm also sharing some of my favorite thrift and consignment pieces. So I'm starting with Dossier. I have three fragrances to share today. I shared some a couple of weeks ago, and they reached out and have sent me some additional fragrances to review. So I'll be sharing those with you. I have worn all of them over the past week or so, but I just want to share the three scents that I chose. And this is what the packaging looks like. And the text there, as you can see, says iconic scents, designer quality, no markups. They all come in a 50 milliliter size, and that's equal to about 1.7 ounces. So that is what they look like. And the first one I'm sharing is called Aromatic Star Anise. And I will also share the notes, the top notes, the middle, and the bottom notes of the fragrances. So on the top notes for this one is bergamot, pepper, and star anise. The middle notes are lavender, nutmeg, geranium, and the base notes are patchouli, amberwood, and vetiver. Right away, I thought it was very refreshing. I thought it's a very soft scent, and I liked what I initially caught from the top notes there. And the fragrance is long lasting. Again, about 6 to 8 hours, where it starts to kind of trend off a little bit. After that period of time, that works. I'm good with that because I've gotten that scent all day long. And the Aromatic Star Anise was inspired by Dior Sauvage Eau de Toilette. Secondly, we have Floral Peony. And even though the name says floral, is not as heavily floral as the name I think may imply, but it is a floral scent, and I do detect rose in the initial hit on my nose. The top notes on it are peony, lychee, and lily. The middle notes are rose, magnolia, and freesia, and the base notes are musk, cedarwood, and honey. A nice scent, and this one was inspired by Chloe. I used to wear Chloe years and years ago, and this fragrance was the Chloe Eau de Perfume. So if you have a point of reference with regard to Chloe, the Floral Peony is a scent that you might want to consider. And finally, we have Spicy Orchid. And the notes on it are, in the top notes, cinnamon, pink pepper, mandarin. Middle notes are yang yang, orchid, and plum. And the base notes are sandalwood, vanilla, incense, and patchouli. And this one is inspired by Tom Ford's Black Orchid Eau de Parfum. It is a little bit of a heavier scent. It does have the musk. I do get the notes on that. And I think I'm also getting a little bit of a sweetness if you like sweet scents. The Spicy Orchid might be something that you would enjoy. So the nice thing about these scents is that they give you the benefit of having classic inspired high-end luxury scents at a fraction of the cost. These scents are $39, and you have the option of getting to choose ones that you may want to try. And if you're not completely satisfied with what they offer, you can send them back within a 30-day period of time for a refund. Maybe try some others. And that's what I'm doing here, is just sharing what those scents are that you can choose from. There is no cost to return. And they are always adding new fragrances to their collection. And if there's a scent that you think they should carry, they are also open to suggestions for new fragrances. So take a look at the Dossier fragrances and see if there's something that might be of interest to you to add to your perfume collection. So I get a fair amount of questions about where I shop, and I'm talking about these spaces today because so many of you are new, but I wanted to bring this back into the conversation with regard to how to build your wardrobe inexpensively and still acquire really nice, well-made quality pieces. And that is through thrift and consignment. So I understand that is not for everyone in the secondhand market, but if you're open to it, you definitely can find some really great opportunities to create some unique pieces in your wardrobe that's not going to be your typical retail find. Now, I shop everywhere. I've said that a lot, and I do. And I don't typically exclude most places that maybe some of you might not have considered, which is why I'm sharing what I'm sharing today. The thrift and consignment would be the number one and two places, but I also check estate sales for jewelry. I look at bazaars. Typically, there's loads of jewelry and accessories and handbags and things of that nature at a bazaar. I also shop online through Facebook Marketplace, yard sales, great place for jewelry, unique vintage pieces, and those sometimes places that you would probably never even think about would have something you might want. And that is furniture stores or those mom and pop kind of stores where they may have local vendors that set up their goods in those mom and pop shops. Now, the mom and pop shop may be a furniture refinishing store, but they may have vendor items in the store. So I look at those places as well. There may be something that initially draws me in that's unrelated to fashion, but while I'm there, I'm going to look around, and typically, sometimes there are those additional finds. So I'm going to start with jewelry. One, because I absolutely love jewelry. I love it for day to day, for special occasion, all of it year round. I wear jewelry day to day. And you may have heard the story already, but I don't think I was looking for jewelry, but it popped up in Facebook Marketplace. And there was a lady selling bags of jewelry. I connected with her, initially bought one bag for $10. There were tons of pieces in it. And this was one of those pieces. This nice little leaf detail on the necklace. So there were maybe in the first bag, there was maybe 75 or so pieces. I got that. I went back a second day and got a second bag for another $10. And in that bag was an assortment of chains. Now, you've seen these in some of my shorts. And I try to have these in a variety of lengths, as well as in silver or gold. And also some pearl was included. A great way to add just a little bit of interest to the front of your outfit. You can, of course, layer the chains. You can double strand them to create that kind of look if you chose. And a great way to just affordably, and that's what we're talking about today, just to be able to affordably add to your jewelry collection. It's a great way to start. I would advise a word of caution with regard to purchasing the jewelry through Marketplace, in that some of the bulk purchases are going to be expensive to ship. Now, if it's someone in your area and you can drive to meet that person, whole different story. But if you've got to ship a bag of a couple of hundred pieces, that may be cost prohibitive. So just something to think about, because it's going to be kind of hard to tell what exactly you're going to be getting through a photo. So great way to add that. And for one of those, I also found this one. That was a thrifted piece. Nice in the black. And it's beaded. So nice detail there. And in regard to the furniture store, they had a variety of different things there. And that's where I found this necklace. So the lady that made the necklaces, all kinds of styles, she was selling these. And I picked that up for like $25. Very unique. And this is the kind of thing that she had. So before COVID, I would go to the High Point Furniture Market kind of yearly. If you're not familiar, it's in High Point, North Carolina, and it is a showing of the latest brands from all the furniture makers and buyers and all of the like that come into High Point a couple times a year. And that's where all the new furniture, the new fabrics, new lighting, all of the fun stuff is. I guess the spring season of 2019. That was the last time I've gone. And there was a vendor there who was not even a part of the furniture industry, but was there because he was closing out his store. And you saw this piece a couple of weeks ago. He was closing out his store and he brought the goods from his store to the furniture market. And these are pieces that he had for sale. And they were $5 each. But they're resin material. Nice if you like bulky, unique pieces. I also found this one at the same store, and he had lots of handbags and bracelets and just all kinds of interesting things. And this can be lengthened, it can be shorter. So that's one way to find interesting pieces at an unusual place. And as you know, I talk about consignment all the time. And this is a piece that I found a couple of months ago. And when I initially saw it, someone was trying it on and she put it down. And I ended up with this. And it's a copper, a beautiful bead detail there. I absolutely love it. If you remember the brown dress in my Christmas videos, this is the necklace that I was wearing with that brown velvet dress. Absolutely love it. So moving on to the tiny handbags, which I adore, and a lot of them are tiny, but for what I'm going to need them for, I don't need a whole lot of things. So I'm not getting the contents of my day-to-day bag. That's not the space for this, of course. So these are going to serve in a variety of capacities with regard to events. And if I needed a small little something for day-to-day, depending on what's happening, I definitely can do that. I was asked if I could carry my phone. Some of them I can't get my phone in, but typically I would know someone and be comfortable enough to borrow a phone if I needed it. And if someone's going to reach me, my phone would be at a minimum in the car. So I'd be okay with that. If I'm going to be somewhere for a long time, I always can tip out and check the phone every hour if I need to do that. So this one I found at a thrift store, and was probably Goodwill now that I think about it. And it had a brooch attached, just so. And I thought initially it was a permanent attachment, but turns out I could also pull it off and wear it as a brooch. So when you're looking at things, look at them carefully to just kind of see if there's an opportunity for a dual moment with a detached part. And of course, this has the strap, and it could also be put away and just carried more as a clutch. So that's also an option. I have another red one, sequined, and great for the holiday or for, as we just had, Valentine's Day, and it also has a strap and you can carry it two ways. So for some of the tiny ones, now, I don't remember if this was thrift or consignment, but it was just a really cute little option. It has the rhinestone detail there on the closure. It also has a strap, and I paid $4 for that. And a great way to just add some different interest to your outfit. I always consider these when I see them. Now, of course, at some point, I probably need to just kind of pull back on this space. But I'm building this space, one for variety, and that has become my little display area for this size handbag. It keeps some of them there. For those of you that are reorganizing your closets and making those kinds of changes, I found the shelving at Burlington Coat Factory. I'm sure there are other places. Came in a set of 2, and they were $15 per set. I decided to turn it into that little wall there. Cute little bag, and that was like $6.99. Thrifted. This was a consignment bag. That was like $10. This was a thrifted bag. And these bags, when I bring them home, if you have not yet seen that cleaning process, I use a lot of Clorox bleach wipes. I use a lot of bleach cleaning cloths. I use Lysol spray. If I need to wash something, I will do that. I don't believe that one of these were washed, but I have. Oh, so this bag. This is one of my favorites too. I actually dunked it in water. And it came out totally fine. Nothing. And it was a $4 bag that I got from a thrift store. And like I've said prior, even if in my cleaning process something happens to it, as cute as it is, and I would be disappointed, but it was a $4 fine. But it adds so much to a look when I'm trying to create something unique and different. This bag was a consignment find. It was like $12. Look at the beading on that. I hope you can see the bead detail. But it's beaded all the way around. And I love that detail on the top here with the little rosette design and the little rhinestone there. A lot of detail and interest on this bag. And it is pink. Kind of a bronze and pewter kind of feel on that metal portion there. It also has a shorter chain that goes with it so it can be carried 2 ways. So I like that. And for $12, a really nice option. And you've seen these. I really like the metallic finishes on the bags. That adds a lot of interest, but it's also neutral. You don't necessarily have to go with silver all the time or a hard gold. These work great in a variety of settings, and they're also great for day to day if you want to just grab one and throw it on with a pair of jeans. Now this one I got at a vintage store. It was $8, and this one I found at Goodwill, and it was $4. So I always recommend checking a variety of places for those kinds of special bags. These you're going to see almost anywhere and in retail. They were $6.99 each, and I got them at 2 different Goodwill stores. And this one had a stain, little dark spots there. Wasn't sure what it was, but it looked like it might have been a grease stain. So when I got it home in my cleaning and with my Clorox wipes, I just kind of went in hard there, rubbed it out, and the stain has been removed. So that's the purpose of using the bleach to sanitize as well as to remove those stains. Now, that little black bag that you saw during my Valentine's video is this bag, and I got it at a hair salon, and that hair salon has a boutique inside with all kinds of wonderful things, from jewelry to shoes, bags, as well as clothing. Is also one that I found there that was either $20 or $25. This was $34. That one was new. The mirrored bag that you saw in the Valentine's video also came from that same location, and it was $20 or $25. So that's why I encourage you to look at sometimes odd places, but in those odd spaces, in those spaces where you may not think you would find certain things, a lot of times are where those things are. I would never have expected to find anything remotely close to a vintage handbag at a hair salon. And such unique pieces is what I also enjoy. Finally, with the handbags, in the vintage space, there's just such great opportunity to add to your collection and get some great pieces. I love the color on this. I found this in New York back in September, and it was at a consignment store that had everything under the sun with regard to fashion. First into the store, there's just cases of amazing jewelry. There are two levels to the store. I just didn't have the time. I encourage you, when you travel, to Google consignment near me or thrift near me, and you're going to find some wonderful opportunities, even if it's your local Goodwill, because geographically, what you're going to find in Houston is going to be very different than what you may find in LA, which is going to be very different than what you're going to find in Maryland. So just be open to just finding the unique pieces. This store had furs, it had shoes, it had everything that you will want in one place. I did not have the time. It was a stop in. I had literally not even gotten to my niece's house from the airport. We swung into this place on the way, and I have actually enjoyed carrying this bag. I've used it several times in the past few months. Moving on from there, I have much more to share. So I just wanted to separate out these things from the typical retail items so you could get a good look at what these things offer in the secondhand space. Secondhand opportunities come with new price tags a lot of times. A lot of things I've purchased from thrift stores had new price tags on them. Now, you could see the age on them, but the price tag was still there. Somebody could have worn it, I guess, with the tag stuck in the neck. Ultimately, it hadn't been laundered or washed or anything of that nature. But some great opportunities at some phenomenal prices. I also have shoes. These were new, and I like the rhinestone detail there and the little cutout on the side. Really cute. And these were by Karen Scott. And I found these two pair at Goodwill. Apparently the same person dropped them off, and they were $6.99 each, and they're brand new. I've worn both of them, but that hasn't shown up yet. And I was amazed they were still in the shoe boxes. Love, love, love. A recent acquisition with the Argyle sweater. I love the detail here. So hopefully you can see the label. That says 100% cashmere. And this sweater was $6.99, I think, somewhere in there at Goodwill. Check your Goodwills. If you're looking for those designer brands from years ago, they're at the thrift stores. They're at the consignment stores. And those pieces are quality pieces. They're going to last forever. And that is one thing I tremendously enjoy, is finding quality pieces at a much lower price. This blouse you saw recently in a short. It was thrifted, $6.99. Classic style. I love the polka dot. Gonna serve in a lot of capacities. This is one of my favorite blazers. I love red, and the brass detail here on the buttons, on the sleeve. And this is a Talbot's brand. It's a size 12. I love the notch collar detail there. I really love this jacket. Classic style. It's gonna last forever. And I mentioned the size 12 because, as you know, more expensive brands, typically the sizes can be smaller in terms of what you wear. So I can go down to a 12 depending on who made the item. This was one of my favorites. I was last year I wanted some floral print jackets and blazers. I don't remember if this was thrift or consignment, but it was under $10. And I love that. I absolutely love it. Y'all hear me say I love something a lot. I do. And that's one reason why I so enjoy sharing what I do, is because I really enjoy the pieces that I take the time to acquire and having it here. I mean, these are pieces that I'm going to wear for a long time. And as I get rid of things, I'm replacing it with things I'm going to now have for a long time. I've had some comments about how much is in this closet. This was not a short-term process to get to this space. My fascination with clothing started as a teenager. So this has been a while in the making. I have some pieces here that have a lot of age on them, and I have pieces that I will continue to hold on to as long as I can wear it and still like it. I don't get rid of something because I haven't worn it in a year. This winter is a prime example, based on what I'm getting ready to show you now. It's a prime example of why you don't get rid of, at least for my weather. I don't get rid of things because I haven't worn it in a year or two, because the weather just has not permitted me to do so this year. It has been unseasonably warm. We had 74-degree temperatures this week, and it is winter. So there are things that I can't wear because of the weather, but we also had 30-degree temps several weeks ago. So that's when you see me layer. And then when it gets cold, I'm dressing for cold, of course. But most of the time, our winters are pretty mild, and those low temperature days are short lived. But I have to be ready for those as well. I found this piece at a consignment store. And you've heard me mention Chanel before. This is not a Chanel jacket, but it is a Chanel-esque style. And I absolutely love it. I have not worn it. I got it a few months ago. And I love the button detail. I have not changed the button for those of you that have seen this before. It is very unnoticeable, but I know it's there. And don't discount something that may have a small flaw, especially something like buttons. They can easily be replaced. But for the style of the jacket, I'm going to have this a very long time. Now, how many times I can wear it in 1 year, I don't know, just based on the weather. It's a heavy jacket, heavy blazer, and it is buttoned, it's pocketed. I do like that, and it is a pastel pink. It may show as off-white, but it is a pastel pink, and I absolutely love it. So if your style, or if you haven't figured out your style yet, I always recommend Thrift as a great way to explore, to just play with colors and prints and sizes as well, because an extra large in one brand is going to fit differently maybe than an extra large in another brand. And if you're only spending $7 or $8 for something, it's probably worth it to take it home and try it. If you need to have it altered to a smaller size, that's a great way to get a great piece and just have it altered. Now, keep in mind, not in all instances, most instances, I would say what you purchase is not going to be, you're not going to be able to take it back to the store and get your money back. You may be able to return it for a credit, but some stores are final sale. So keep that in mind when you're shopping your thrift or your consignment stores, to be sure that what you're getting is something you're going to want to keep, or at least give to someone you know will like it. I have a mixed media leather jacket here, and I found it at Goodwill. It's by Dress Barn, and you've seen it before, but it was $6.99, and it's a great jacket. It's a great looking jacket. It feels good on, and it has a little bit of spandex in it, so I do like that. A $6.99 fine. Now this one I'm going to try on, and I'm going to try it on because it is by Donnybrook. But look at what the size is. That says size 8. I'm clearly not a size 8. However, in looking at the coat, I'm like, okay, maybe I should try that on. And I did. And as you can see, there's plenty of room in this coat. Now, the sleeve is slightly shorter than I would prefer, but it's not an uncomfortable length. The coat fits. But it says it's a size 8. It has pockets. It's a swing style. It has the velvet detail here on the collar and down the front. And I can wear it. So shopping thrift and consignment, I think, just opens up some spaces that you might otherwise miss. I don't remember what I paid for it, but I do know that I got it at Goodwill. I'm going to say it was under $15, but a great find. And it's a very warm coat. So those sizes, sometimes just be open-minded. And if it looks like, even though the size is saying one thing, if it looks like you can wear it, try it on. And then maybe a couple of weeks ago, I did a short with the cape. This is the cape. And it was thrifted. And I want to say it was $8 or so. Anything that comes from thrift typically is under $15. I don't recall that much paying anything more than that. Again, a great way to build your collection if you're new to the workplace, or you're just starting over, if you just went into retirement and you're getting rid of suits and more corporate feel clothing. You want to start over inexpensively. It's a great way to kind of rebuild a new style for yourself, not spend a lot of money. Now, as warm as I am today, it feels weird showing you fur, but I got this at a consignment store. You may have heard of Uptown Cheapskate. This is where I got this, and it was $15. It was for by Forever 21. It's a faux fur. The color initially caught my eye, and it caught my eye because I had this bag. This was from a consignment store, and as you can see, they work well together. And that was what made me take a look at this. Consignment, $15. And I'm almost done. If you're into fur, if you're into faux fur, there's a lot of faux fur in consignment right now, and there's a bit of it in thrift. I found this at Goodwill, and I paid $16.25 for it. I had it cleaned, of course, and I love the detail on it. It coordinates with gloves and a hat that I already have, so I went with it. It has 2 buttons. Figured that part out. $16.25. Now, depending on when you buy at Goodwill, the little tag that comes on the garments are different colors. The day I got this, it was not 50% off. Had I waited a week, the color of the week would have changed. It may have been 50% off. So when you go to a Goodwill store, typically right at the front, unless they recently renovated, they don't start their process right away. Right at the front, there's a big banner that says color of the week, and it's going to tell you what color tags to look for. And those price points will be 50% off. And even at $16.25, I'm quite pleased with this. And finally, this was the find of 2022. Probably the find ever of my thrift shopping. And I found this little capelet. Has the notch detail here. It is from Miller and Rhodes, if you've ever heard of them. They were a Virginia-based store. And when I saw it, I picked it up very quickly, and I did a preliminary inspection. The Miller and Rhodes label made me comfortable enough that it was real. I would have purchased it anyway, just based on the style. I took it to a furrier to find out if indeed it was real and what the fur is. And it turns out it is squirrel. I didn't know furs were made out of squirrel. Nonetheless, it is and they're also pockets. So I thought that was very nice as well. And I paid $30.25. The note here, I found this over in the housewares department on the opposite side away from clothing of all kinds. And there was no reason for it to be there other than somebody picked it up and put it down and just put it somewhere. It was near housewares. On that particular day, I ran into Goodwill because we were having work done to the car. And I was like, okay, well, I'll go over here while that's happening, and just popped in. And this was my find. And I was quite pleased. And for $30.25, I don't think I could have done any better than that. If it would have been 50% off, that would have been more thrilling. But I am far from upset at $30. So that is what I wanted to share with regard to my favorite pieces from Thrift and Consignment. My recommendation with regard to sustainable fashion: start small and in your comfort. If a handbag is going to be more comfortable, start there. If jewelry is going to be more comfortable, start there. Wherever your comfort is, you can always clean it, sanitize it, wash it, all of that. I do all of that to every piece that comes in, and I'm totally fine wearing a secondhand piece. So there are great opportunities for wonderful buys and finds and treasures to add to your wardrobe and to mix into your retail, because a lot of times our retail options, you're going to see what everybody else is going to see. You're going to see what I see. We're looking at all the same things. However, when it comes to the vintage space and the consignment or the thrift space, there are those moments that we can find these kinds of things that's going to elevate our looks and add to that collection that we're building. I hope you've enjoyed what I've shown you today. The secondhand market is a fantastic way to just create some new opportunities in your wardrobe. If you're building a collection, then you can find some really nice, unique, quality pieces that are going to be with you for a long time in those spaces. Just be open-minded. Everything can be washed or dry cleaned or sanitized in whatever way to make you comfortable, so that you can have the benefit of enjoying something, even though it may have been worn before. So thank you for watching. If you have not already, subscribe, like, and share the videos. I thank you for that. If you're looking at old videos and you're new, you may see some of this again. It's actually a lot of it is in my Let's Talk Thrift video, and a lot more detail in that video. Everyone, I will see you in the next one. Until then, do have a great start to your week, and we will see you soon. Bye.